Hey everyone, welcome back to Grace Note Forge. So today I'm going to be reviewing this ultrasonic cleaner by VEVOR, and I'm going to be doing a lot of different tests to see how it works with a lot of my jewelry work. And full disclosure, VEVOR did send me this unit for free, but oddly enough, I was looking to upgrade to this larger model for a while now. So it'll be interesting to test it out and see if it's actually worth the upgrade. So these come in a lot of different sizes, but this is the 6-liter unit. So the inside vat measures about 6 by 6 by 11.5 inches, I believe. And it comes with a large steel basket as well as a little one for smaller parts, and a 30-inch length of hose for drainage. And this cleaner goes for just under $100 on the VEVOR website. So I've been using this smaller cleaner for quite a while now, and it does a pretty good job despite its size. This one was advertised for pretty light work, like jewelry or cleaning off glasses, but I use it a lot in different steps of my jewelry making process. So cleaning off 3D prints or buffing compound from polishing jewelry to just kind of cleaning off jewelry itself. And how they work is actually really interesting. I don't want to go too deep into detail, but basically what they do is use high frequency sound waves to form these little bubbles all around the part, and those bubbles will continuously implode, which is what dislodges any kind of dirt or grease on the part. And those little implosions can turn out to be kind of violent, so you really need to be careful about putting in delicate objects to clean, especially when it comes to jewelry. But it turns out you can actually test the strength of these machines by just using some aluminum foil. So I thought it would be cool to do a few strength tests and see this firsthand. I'm just hanging this piece over a little bit of wire that's stretched across the basket, and I'll set the timer for 5 minutes without any heat. And just a heads up, these machines are pretty loud and annoying, so I definitely recommend headphones if you have to have them close by. But I'm at about a minute in on this test, and there's already quite a bit of damage. So I'm going to speed this up a bit and get ready to do a few more tests. A pretty common tip for these cleaners is to use a separate container. That way you're not having to contaminate the vat with different solutions. And I've always used either a plastic bag or a plastic cup, but supposedly glass is a good option too. So I'm going to test this out at 5 minutes as well, and I'm also going to try the plastic bag and plastic cup like I normally do. And the idea is that sound is probably traveling through these containers differently, so it'll be interesting to see the results. And out of curiosity, I wanted to try the plastic cup without the basket. I'm not sure where the sound mechanism is on this, but my thinking was maybe the cup sitting right up against the floor will kind of focus those sound waves, kind of like using it to press your ear up against a wall. But I don't know, this is just a test and I'm not a scientist. Either way, it'll be cool to see. And here are the results, which are kind of interesting. I would have thought that the control without any kind of container would end up having the most damage, but it seems like the plastic bag and, oddly enough, the plastic cup with no basket seem to have the highest strength. So I'm not too sure what that means from a practical standpoint, but I'm going to go ahead and keep testing with the plastic containers that I was using before. So next I wanted to try cleaning off some jewelry, and it's important to not use the cleaner on any soft gems. So anything like emeralds or opals can actually get damaged with the ultrasonic cleaner, so it's always good to check ahead of time. And I've heard that regular dish soap should work just fine, but I'm going to go ahead and try this solution, which is specific for ultrasonic cleaners. So I'm going to go ahead and mix up a bit of this by just pouring in a capful. And this time I'm going to try the heating function on the cleaner. So I'm just going to set that to 35 degrees Celsius. And I'm also going to turn the timer down to 3 minutes. And this was kind of cool to see under the microscope. These rings weren't really super dirty or anything, so I didn't end up getting one of those crazy viral video shots of like a huge black cloud coming off of it. But there was still quite a bit of dirt and grease that noticeably came off, and they definitely came out way shinier than they were before. And you can see with these close-up shots, it definitely brightened up the stones. So with this last test, I wanted to see how well this cleaner does with cleaning off some dried on investment from a casting. This was one of the main reasons that I got my little ultrasonic cleaner to begin with, because this stuff is such a pain to have to clean off by hand. I've seen others use a setup like power washers to clean this off, but that's just not in the cards for me right now for a small shop. So I'm really hoping this cleaner can do this job, because this is something the little ultrasonic would kind of struggle with too. This casting was done several days ago, so the investment is pretty dry. Should make for a good test. And I'm going to clean off this flask too to see how it does with that. And for the solution, I've had some good luck with using white distilled vinegar for this. It seems to dissolve the investment pretty well, so that's what I'm going to try here, but I do want to add some heat to it to really see if that maybe speeds it up. And it's worth noting that these bags aren't really meant to be heated up like this, but that's a risk I'm willing to take, so I'm going to go ahead and set the temperature to 45 degrees Celsius. And I'm going to let this run for about 15 minutes. And one thing that I noticed about this ultrasonic cleaner is that it does take quite a while to heat up. So to help speed things along, I went ahead and added some hot water from the kettle. The added heat really seemed to kind of start breaking it away pretty early. So I went ahead and let that go for 15 minutes. And here are the results. And I'm super impressed at just how clean this is coming out. There's a lot of fine detail in these skulls and just little crevices for that investment to hide, so it did a great job with this. And the flask also came out really nice and clean too. So for my final thoughts on this cleaner, and if it's actually worth upgrading to a larger one, I would say yes, but not really for the reasons that I thought. Personally, I knew I needed a larger ultrasonic cleaner for just some bigger tasks or being able to fit multiple things in at once. But I had this misconception that it was just going to be stronger than the smaller cleaner that I had, and that didn't turn out to be the case. I ended up doing the strength test with the aluminum foil in a plastic bag with a smaller one too, and the results were pretty close. So you can probably get by with a smaller ultrasonic cleaner if you don't really need that extra space. But that being said, the heating function and just being able to easily drain it is also super useful, so it's really going to be up to your needs. I'll leave an affiliate link below if you're interested in picking one up and want to help out the channel. But as always, Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.